I think legally they have to. In the state of California, you must be in California, Doug, where
I am.
you can't just record people without
There's
telling them you're doing it.
no freedom here.
Man, dude, I don't know how you guys do it.
We've got a really awesome guest here today, but first, you know who it is. Tyson Apostle, my co-host, and myself, Thomas Shields. Our guest this episode is Doug Ellin, the creator of Entourage. He's got a lot of other really impressive accomplishments, including 2 podcasts right now. Correct, Doug?
Yes.
Hollywood Ways and the Victory Pod, right?
Yeah, Victory the podcast. Yeah.
Got it. Well, thanks for joining us. This is
Thank
awesome.
you.
I was just
Thanks for having me, but I'm not getting any pickleball credits, huh?
No, you also a superstar pickleball player. We've seen the highlight reels.
Good, yeah.
And my wife most excited about the Bad Santa connection.
You know what? I mean, thank her for that. But good friends of mine made that movie, but I quit. We had creative differences, so I was really not involved in that second one. I wish I was involved in the first one, but I was not involved in the second one.
Okay.
I mean,
she just read through it real quick, so now I feel like an idiot because I
all good.
Checked anything.
There's a credit on there for something, but
I don't feel like an idiot anymore.
Yeah,
that was real
feel
quick.
Good. Your wife did good work.
Yeah, good.
Wait, but Tyson, you brought up something that I want to start off with right away. So, well, first
Christmas,
of all,
what you want for
playing
Christmas?
Christmas. You're playing at 12:30 today, Doug?
Yes.
Okay. I was just watching that. Tyson just brought up that clip that we just posted.
Yeah.
You got a nice, little one-handed backhand roll.
I got some good stuff. It's a shame because the athletes have really come into this sport the last 3 or 4 years. I mean, 4 years ago, I thought I was really like, wow, I might be one of the best in the world at this game. And then all of a sudden, all these tennis players and athletes started getting in, and I've gotten a little older, but I'm all right. The good news is I can have a good time playing with these guys. Whether they enjoy it, I don't know,
Yeah.
That's about where I am. Can I ask you a personal question?
Sure.
What would your ranking be? Like if you were to just hit the courts and people were rating? Yeah. Not derper. It doesn't have to be like.
I mean, I'm a senior, so
like a senior pro, senior pro.
I don't know. There's obviously I've played with some of the senior pros. They're better than me, but I feel like I can play with them. But I don't know. I played in a couple of tournaments. I played with Riley Newman in a tournament. Obviously, I had him to compensate, but we won a couple of matches against some 25-year-olds, so I felt good.
Okay, nice. I also have been in contact with. He claims to be a friend of yours, Matt Manassi.
Yep.
And I think you're playing with him later today. Is that right?
I'm playing with him later today. Yeah.
Okay. So. And I got a little, not really dirt, but I had a little game here where I had him rank you as a friend, and I was going to have you rank him as a friend and just see if you guys' friendship.
And the friends numbers rankings.
Yeah, if it really lines up because
I'm very popular, so that's a tough list.
Yeah, that's what I figure. He said that myself and you are tied on the top of the list for tolerable friends.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
It's worth something, right?
It's not negative.
I'll put him on my tolerable list as well.
Okay, tied. And he also wanted me to ask you about broken paddle count.
I break one a month probably.
In rage or just in aggressive play?
Rage. Yeah, no, I'm not.
Rage smash.
Yeah, I don't think aggressively I'm going to break. I smash a fence here and there, the ground once in a while, hit Manassi in the head a couple of times.
Good. His skull is so thick that it's
he's he's got a lot of hair too. So
yeah, he really does. I had a business idea where you could do a paddle designed specifically for just smashing and exploding everywhere.
I think it's a good move.
Keep it in your bag.
Yeah.
And
I don't see a lot of thrown paddles though. I mean, I know, I probably was. People kind of look at me like I'm fucking nuts when I throw my paddle in pickleball. They think it's a little weird. So,
have you ever accidentally who you're playing with?
Have you ever accidentally hit yourself in the head with a paddle?
I have.
That hurts so bad.
In the knee, yeah.
That's why I don't throw them.
Yeah,
I'll smack them on the ground, but to throw them is if that hits somebody, that's really painful.
Yeah, well, Jeff Warner, he threw one over a fence and almost killed somebody, I think, a couple of years ago in a tournament. So,
yeah, lesson learned, hopefully.
Yep. Yep.
Thomas, what do you have for Doug? Or do
No,
you
I was just going to ask. All right. Well, you were talking about how all the real athletes are coming into the sport. So I'm curious, what's your athletic background? I can tell you've got some athletic background just by the way
Yeah,
you
I
were
mean,
playing.
I was like a good, slow tennis player in high school,
Okay.
played basketball, played hockey, played a lot of ping pong. And, it's like I said, I can get on a court in pickleball with people that I could never get on a tennis court with. So
Right.
that's why I love it, and feel like I can do things that I always wished I could do in tennis.
Hmm.
But I was a mediocre, slow athlete. Good hand-eye coordination. Usual shit. But
Yeah.
but this sport has definitely been something that I ran a basketball game for 10 years, and as I was getting into my mid 40s, you get hurt a lot. So this game has been like a lifesaver for me. Once I found it, I've been obsessed and addicted since the first day I started playing.
Got it.
I'm mid 40s right now, and I come from professional cycling. I was a swimmer in college. I always played everything growing up. And it's the same thing. It's like you get to a point where it's not worth taking the risk to hurt yourself.
Yep.
And then you start slowing down specifically for that reason. You're like, I'll play basketball, but I'm only going to shoot threes.
Yeah.
And then you're like, what's the point of even doing that? And
Right.
pickleball, like you said, it's like for me the same thing. It's like I'm kind of sick of doing all that other stuff, and that other stuff is higher risk. I can go out, I can be social, and I can get my activity in and have fun at the same time. So it's kind of everything.
Yep. It's a perfect game. It really is.
Is that your court that we're seeing in that?
It is not. It is not.
I would have said it was, even if it wasn't, Doug.
Do you know who builds those courts though? Because I've seen a bunch of them where if you look closely, there's no kitchen line. And all the houses are like insane. It's like
yeah. It's a good friend of mine that builds them. He doesn't like me talking about it. He doesn't even like me posting that video. But but yeah, he's built some spectacular houses. He's kind of another one who's obsessed with pickleball. And I remember when he was putting up these houses that can sell for close to $100 million. I'm like, do people know what this court is? Like, do they, and he said people are loving it. So, and I've really watched it from, I guess, 5 or 6 years ago where I started playing. I mean, my first time ever playing, I walked on the court and like Phil Mickelson was on the court and said, let's play. And I got on this court. I'd never seen this game before. And the way it's grown over the last 5-6 years has been pretty amazing,
How did you?
What?
How's Phil's game?
I mean, me and my buddy beat him and his buddy pretty bad,
Okay.
But he was good. He was all right. He was good.
Tell your friends, everybody. Doug over Phil. How did you initially discover it? Was that it right there?
That was literally it. Phil was on Entourage, and we were at a place called the Madison Club in Indio, which I think, Mike Meldman, who's Discovery Land, I think he just announced like a pro pickleball thing yesterday or something. I didn't read the whole thing, but
he's involved in Major League Pickleball.
Yeah, I mean, Discovery, like his places really were the center of blossoming in this sport for the last 6 years because so many celebrities were there. But I was there for Coachella, and I walked by the court, and there was Phil, who I knew from doing Entourage, and he said, let's play. And I played a lot of ping pong because we had a ping pong table in our office. And then I found this. I'm like, shit, like I stopped playing tennis because my shoulder was so fucked up. I couldn't really serve. So this was the perfect sport for me. And then I've been the guy spreading the word about this sport for like 6 years. People, I was posting pickleball videos 6 years ago, and people were like, what is this, like, little people tennis game? What is this stuff? And now I really see the growth of it because everybody I know around the country is starting to play. So,
So do you take full credit for all of its growth?
You know what? I don't even want any credit because all I want is to be able to go wherever I am in the world and find some good people. 5 years ago, we literally, I went to Italy and we shipped like equipment and like put it up like in a tennis court in the middle of the Amalfi Coast. And people were like, what is this? And we left it there, and I haven't been back yet. I'm hoping to go back and see that like it grew in Italy like that,
Yeah, that would be awesome. It is true. It's nice in the States, especially, to just put a paddle in a bag and go and find like some free time and just show up at a court knowing that there's going to be people to play.
Yeah, it's
and
awesome.
the network is nice and tight where everybody's excited about a new guy showing up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
Well,
do like that.
let's talk about that game, okay? Because we're going to keep going back to that. But you were playing in that clip. I know I recognized Wes Burrows, who's a pro,
Yep.
a really good pro, one of the nicest guys, by the way. He's the one who put us in touch. And then Sam Querrey was out there, who's he's still on the. I mean, he's a legit tennis player right now, right?
I mean, yeah, he just played in the U.S. Open, and I went to saw him in the semis at Wimbledon 3 years ago, I think. You know, I mean, yeah, he's the real deal.
Right.
You know, he just plays a little pickleball. I don't think he's focusing on it. You know.
Yeah, but somebody that good at tennis who even plays just a little bit is going to be nasty, right?
Yeah, I mean, you see it. You know, I've been lucky enough to get Stevie Johnson and Mardy Fish, who hates me, but Mardy Fish on the court. I mean, instantaneously.
Okay, well, hold on. You can't just breeze over that.
I mean, I'm happy to tell it. I said it on our podcast, but you see these tennis players, they come on and like in 5 minutes you go, fuck. Like, just give it a minute and see how they go there. But Mardy, who's a good guy, he doesn't talk to me. He blocked me on Instagram because we were playing one day, and I like to win. Whether Marty's better than me or not, I don't care. And Mardy didn't want to come to the net. He wanted to use his amazing backhand. It was like his second time playing ever, and I was like, Mardy, get your ass to the net or something. I don't remember what it was. Anyway, he walked off the court, never spoke to me again. So I lost that friend, but I've yelled at Manas also. So some people can handle it and some people can't. What can I tell you? You know, I think Mardy was offended that, a 53-year-old screenwriter was going to tell him how to play a paddle sport, but that's fine, you know?
Yeah.
So he blocked you just only for your interactions on the pickleball court.
Oh, yeah. And blocked my girlfriend, which was really upsetting.
Wow, that's intense, dude.
Yeah, it was.
That's really intense.
I mean, really,
some people are just coddled, and then somebody
It was a shame too, because I see these guys, like Mardy. I mean, you've never seen a backhand like this that quickly on a pickleball court. Like Riley Newman's backhand is insane, but this guy after one day, and I kind of like Wes will tell you, since day one I started playing with Wes. I was like, Wes, your potential. We can get you to the top. I will help. I will do whatever I want, So when I see guys who have athletic ability that sadly I will never have, I always look at them and go, God, if I could put my brain in that body, I would dominate pickleball,
maybe in the future that would be a possibility.
Someday,
Is that your next?
I would tell Wes I'm coming for his head.
No, his body. You're putting your head. What about if we made a plea to Mardy right here on the podcast to unblock everybody?
It would be nice because by the way, I watched his doc. I don't know if you guys saw it.
It's sick.
Fantastic. And honestly, I like Mardy. I could care less whether he likes me or not. It makes no difference to me. But I like Mardy, and he could be. I'm sure if this pickleball world actually grows into some money, Mardy could get real good real fast.
Come on, Mardy. Give us a second chance.
There
we go.
Yeah, I'm a good follow on Instagram.
He's a great follow on Instagram. I got to follow you, Doug. I don't.
You don't follow me, for fuck's sake.
Just look for
You don't follow me.
I didn't even know you till 20 minutes ago.
I didn't even know you either.
Jeez.
Come on. I mean, it seems like we're tight friends here on the podcast, but it really, to our audience, let it be known that Doug and I have never met in person or otherwise ever in our lives.
We're gonna have to play
or played. We do have to. I played in Newport with Matt like a month or two ago. I'm going to be out there again next month. But
Thomas, have we ever played? Or am I crazy? You look familiar to me.
No,
definitely not. Where do you live?
Not that I know of. I'm in Michigan right now, but I'm on the road. I do a lot of the PPA stuff. I don't know. Maybe we've run into each other at a PPA, but
yeah, maybe it looks. I don't know, Florida or something. I don't know. You look familiar. Anyway,
Where are you at, Doug? Are you in LA?
I'm in Los Angeles, California. Yeah.
Okay. I used to go out there all the time. I don't know if you know my history. I was on Survivor like infinity times.
I didn't know that. Did you win?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Nice.
Yeah, there's definitely harder ways to make money.
You ever do it with were you ever on there with Mike White when he did it? Because
Oh, I didn't know. He was only on one time.
yeah, I've actually never watched it, but I'm kind of obsessed that Mike White like went on as a I just watched White
Yeah.
Lotus, which I thought was an amazing show.
He's good friends with Jeff Probst, so that was his connection to getting on there. And he also did Amazing Race with his father.
Yeah,
in
I
the
heard
past.
that.
So he's like a huge
He's
reality
an
TV fan.
interesting dude for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and an interesting thing to do. Like, he's a screenwriter. He's done a lot of acting, and then all of a sudden he's like, "I want to play Amazing Race. And I
Yeah.
want to play Survivor,
Yeah.
so I'm just going to do it."
God bless him. Like Michael Jordan playing baseball,
Yeah, God bless him.
What do you want to do?
Well, he did good. He made it to the end of Survivor. He just
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he was like, I
I'm
think
gonna
he
have
was
to watch
second or
that.
third.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to watch that. I'm running out of shit to watch anyway. But if you haven't seen his show, White Lotus, it was awesome.
I did see it. I did like it as well. Yeah, Armand is the man.
He is.
Was the man. I mean, not too many spoilers.
So what else, guys? Talk to me.
So I'm not. Tyson's not the only one who did a little pre-interview research. So about 30 minutes prior to starting this, I was on the phone with Ryan Sherry. So he gave me a little bit of background on the whole Mardy Fish debacle. He also brought up Phil Mickelson. He said you've also gotten Russell Wilson onto the court, and honestly, like I'm sure that list is a lot more extensive than he knows. And so I'd actually like to just ask you, like, okay, who are some of like the most interesting people you've played with? And are there any people out there that are like big names that are playing the sport avidly that we're just not aware of?
I mean, I don't know who's playing avidly, but yeah, I've gotten Russell out there, and who else? I don't know. Just there's a lot of just interesting people in business who are obsessed with the sport, including like Mike Meldman. I used to play with him a lot 5-6 years ago, but it's the same thing I say. Like everybody that I've introduced this sport to really becomes obsessed. If they have room at their house, they put a court in immediately, and they start really like focusing on it. And I think it's kind of the same thing for everybody. You hit these shots. It's like when you hit these great shots in golf, and you're like, I'm really great at this. I can really go far in this.
It's a great comparison.
That's what I've said that too, except for it happens every game rather than like every 75 holes you get one amazing shot. It's like every game there's like a handful of cool stuff you do.
Yeah, and and you're able to get better quickly. I mean, we know there's a ceiling for everybody, but everybody can get on that court who has any racket ability whatsoever and start playing somewhat competitively with the right group. But it's a funny sport because and some of the interesting guys I've met, I'm blanking on his name right now, but big businessman who like hired his analysts and said that pickleball is the sport that is most dependent on your partner. He's done like however he researched it, that there's no two-man sport that's even close. And I think that's the funniest thing about this game, because I look at this game as like a two-man game, almost like a little 2-on-2 basketball game. And I was always like an assist man, get the guy open. But there's no sport I've ever played where there's more delusional people who
100%.
don't realize how much they're fucking you up. And the other side, when they go, we beat you. And I'm always like, listen, it's fucking two guys. And if I will take my part in what I lost, but really, like, let's look at the whole part of it, and that's what I love about it. It's and different from singles and doubles, which, like, if I got on a singles court with Sam or Wes, I wouldn't get a point. Like, they would absolutely destroy me. But neither one of them, and they're both better than me, but neither one of them like intimidates me in doubles. I feel like I can do things to them. So, and it's one of those games like golf. Like, you go home, you think about shots that you hit, you wake up in the morning, you want to get back out there. So it's really great.
Yeah, it's awesome. I think everybody self-rates like a level higher than they actually are.
Yeah.
Unless you're playing tournaments, then you self-rate 5 levels below so you can get to nationals.
Yeah.
I've seen some people do some shady shit with those ratings. Yeah. But, I think the really good guys are very aware of positioning and spots. And you see it when you see, I got to play with Ben Johns, and, it's a sport when you're watching it that you don't realize how freaking good these guys are. And then when you get on a court with some of them and realize just how much they can manipulate you with just very small spaces, it's really great.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
There's just a lot more strategy than people realize. And until you get to that game where I think everybody sort of hits a ceiling as far as how much you can develop the fundamentals, and then it becomes that sort of strategic chess match.
Yeah.
And the game changes. It almost like evolves into something beyond just what anybody can play when they jump on the court, which is what you're talking about earlier.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
That's right. So, Doug, let's say you and I playing doubles together. I'm losing it for us. I'm getting in your way a little bit. Are you yelling at me, or are you giving me the silent treatment?
No, I'm not. I'm like,
we're just
as
talking.
Matt and Wes, they'll both tell you I've had fights with both of them. But I mean, I'm very like, listen, if you're both of those guys are younger, faster, better. If they're making the plays to end the points, I have no problem. Cut me off, do whatever you want. But and also in a tournament, like I have a clip I should have posted with Riley. Like we were playing in this tournament, and Riley, I did hit the sickest shot to win this point, but Riley had literally forced me so far off the court, I was almost in the parking lot, and he was hitting shot after shot after shot. And if you're hitting him, I have no problem with that. But Matt, I'll tell you, the other day we were playing, like I planned my whole day around getting out to the pickleball court, and this is not a tournament. And Matt, who likes to cut me off and fucking get in my space and crowd me. So I left. I told him to go fuck himself, and that's normal though for New Yorkers. That's what happens in basketball. Right. That's what happens in that. Unfortunately, again, did I want to lose the best backhand in the business, Mardy Fish, to a block on Instagram? No, but I do get very competitive, and I think I'm self-aware. When I'm fucking up, I'm like, yo, I'm sorry. And when I do play now with Wes, like I'm have no problem. You play with me like I'm the, whatever you want to call it. I'm your weaker partner. Do whatever you want. But it's that game though when you feel like your partner is setting you up constantly to be blasted, in the head, and doesn't realize it, and then is like, oh, looking at you. It's very frustrating.
Yeah, he's like, why did you block that? I was like, why did you set that up? My favorite line is if someone says sorry and they've been screwing the game the whole time, I just say, as long as you know it's your fault. I'm like, that's
Self-awareness is very important, and there is like, it's a weird group in this pickleball community, and when you want to really focus and get better on it and grind and practice, that's not something I've taken the time to do yet, which I probably should. So
like the drills and all of that.
Just stuff. Like when I see like some of the people that I played with, I mean, the improvements, Julio, and Scott Crandall, like they are so much better than they were 3 years ago when I really did think I was close to them. And now they've gotten so much better, and they work at it. But that's part of it.
Do you want to work at it? Is that like a goal of yours, or are you just having fun and like you're happy where you're at?
I'm just having fun. I mean, obviously I keep getting older, but so do they. But I mean, I'm going to hit 54 this year, and it's getting tougher to play with 30-year-olds who are definitely playing at a different pace than it was 3 years ago. It really was a lot less drives and a lot less speed ups even 3 years ago, even with the same guys that I play with now. So they've improved, and I need to find myself like the solid like senior 5-0 game that I can like have regularly. But I do love to play with these guys. So
I mean, all the name dropping you're doing, these are all like pros, senior pros.
I got to drop their names, man. I got
to. Yeah. Shout out to all of them.
Yep.
The non-pickleball pros are all like professional tennis players who are headed to the U.S. Hall of Fame. So
yeah, I mean, but I love it. But that's what I love, that I can play with these guys that are playing in pro tournaments. I mean, there's no other sport that I can come up with that I'd be on a court with them where they wouldn't be like, what are we doing out here?
Yeah, right. I think that's the draw of pickleball. The way the game is designed is that it does kind of equalize, or it's just not based purely off athletic ability. And I have said the same thing. It's like I can get on a court with Jay, De Villiers, or Zane. I've played with both of them, and it's like I'll score some points sometimes, But
Right.
if you put me in a tennis match with somebody of that caliber in the tennis world, you'd need to give me 5 years and like a time machine to take me back to 18 years old.
Yeah.
Like I'm not ever going to score a point on any of those guys. And I think that's the draw of it, is that you can watch a pro and say, I can do that with some time.
Yep.
So yeah, beautiful sport. Thomas, what else we got?
Well, no, so I was just going to say, we talked a little bit about Ryan Sherry. We know about the tournament that he puts on PPA Underground.
Yeah.
We know about your podcast, the Victory podcast. So in all that you've done on the Victory podcast, is there anything that ranks higher as far as achievements than sponsoring the PPA Underground a couple of years ago? Because that's pretty big right there.
I mean, that's got to be the tops, you know. I mean, and Ryan Sherry, by the way, another one with a great backhand, you know, like the two-handed backhand, which you would not expect in pickleball. But no, I mean, I really do. I love getting involved in all the pickleball stuff. We were talking with a couple of friends yesterday. I haven't figured out exactly what this new league is, but we're like, let's buy a franchise. You know, I don't know what that means. I don't know what it is, but we're going to actually talk about it today and look at that. You know,
do we know how much franchises are?
I think someone said it's $100,000, but I'm not sure. And I don't know what that means, what you get for it. I don't know if there's a draft. I have no idea. So I'm going to find out about that today. While we're playing, hopefully these guys have some info. We talked about it yesterday.
I can tell you a little bit about it. So they did the launch event yesterday in Austin. So it's going to be held at Dreamland. There's going to be 8 teams, 32 players. Each team is 2 men, 2 women, and there's going to be essentially like a snake draft to determine the team. So that's being held October 1st in Dallas at the PPA Texas Open.
Right.
And then the actual first season, which is really just a weekend, is going to be filmed at Dreamland in Dripping Springs, Texas, I believe November 5th through the 8th. Wow. And so, I mean, assuming this first season goes well, they'll likely expand and look for more owners, bring in more teams, at which point you should probably throw your hat in the ring. I think it'd be pretty cool to own a pickleball franchise, especially if this league continues its trajectory, right?
Yeah.
So
I think that, Doug, what you should do is let's try and get Mardy back on track with us. Train him secretly, totally secret, and then just draft him out of the blue from nowhere.
Great. He would be a top draft pick for sure.
So, so you're saying, Thomas, that all the teams are filled. So October 1st, there's no room for any more teams to come in. What is that?
No, so the teams are set. You know, they just released like the team names, and they each have like, you know, 1 to 3 owners or something like that. They are, you know, they're people that you would know, or they run businesses that you would know. Some are former professional athletes. You mentioned a guy who owns like Discovery Properties.
Yeah, Mike Melvin, I know, is involved, and Mark Lazary, who owns the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yep, exactly.
I saw that, so it sounds great, you know. And I just love the fact that the sport's growing, you know, and getting out there more. So, and I hope, like I said, to me, it's just about every time I'm on a trip, I want to be able to find people, and you know, it's the only sport I ever did where I got on like a fucking Facebook. You know, group list. And I'm like, hey, and I've met like great people, you know, and like, I mean, it's weird. Like 5 years ago, I was playing with like the Waters in Florida and stuff. Not realizing how good they were, you know, just going, wow, all right, this is fun as hell. So it's a great community as well as the sport, you know?
Yeah. 100%. All right. So speaking of community, like who is your typical crew? Like you'll go play with Matt today. Who else? Do you have like a crew that you always play with?
Play and Julio and you know, but they play less and less with me. They hide from me now, you know. Like we used to play 3 times a week, and then all of them started like getting serious and getting into these tournaments and stuff. So now I got to fucking chase them around and be like, "Come on, guys, play with me, please." So I really do. I have to find like a senior 5. I need 3 guys that I can play twice a week with that are, you know, around my level. But you know, Sam used to play with us a bunch when he's not on tour, and the Dorner brothers who are, were like top paddle tennis team in the world. We played with them a bunch, and Jared Link and Roberto, who's great. I don't know if you guys have ever played with Roberto Donati. He's like probably, I don't want to give the wrong age. He's probably 60 now, but he's definitely one of the best seniors, but I don't think he competes that much anymore. But we got a nice group, and we usually can find 4 people to play. So
Are you usually playing at the Riv?
We play there, play at friends' houses, play at Memorial Park in Santa Monica. Sometimes I go to Manhattan Beach. So, all over.
So that's how you say Riviera Country Club if you're like in the in crowd. So I'll refer to it as the Riv here going forward.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's what Matt always calls it. He talks about the Riv more than
that's in
else.
The in crowd. I mean,
he really coaching there? Isn't that like a coaching gig for him?
He's teaching there. Yeah, I think he's teaching Larry David and Ari Emanuel and a bunch of cool guys. So hopefully he's teaching them properly, not crowding the court, Matt.
Yeah, come on, Matt. Let him learn. Maybe he's teaching by doing, just showing them. Just watch.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I laugh at the fact that you're a paddle thrower. I mean, I know Matt as one of the most prolific paddle throwers. So to have you both on the same side of a court has to get interesting.
Matt is a paddle thrower?
I've got videos of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Matt, you can get in his head. I'm usually mad at the other person. I'm not usually mad at myself. So Matt gets mad at himself. But it's part of the game. But Wes I've never seen get very upset. He's very calm out there. So you can go about it many different ways.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's different in that respect, right? What's next for you in pickleball?
That's what I was going to ask.
What's next for me?
Yeah. Just keep playing, looking for that group.
That's all I care. To be honest, that's all I care about. It's like I swear to God, and I tell these guys this, when I look at my Apple Watch, if I'm doing like 135, beats per minute, and I do it for 2 hours, and I can do that 4 days a week, I know I'm having a good time. Like, that's when I can tell how the game is. When I look at my stats, how much high activity I got. So I could care less about winning tournaments. I just want to play for, I'm hitting 54. It's like a game that I hope I can still be competitive in my 70s, but it's really all I care about is having good games,
Yeah, that's
so you've been around the game for a little bit now. You've definitely seen it go through its recent explosion and get to the point that it's at now. I think there's another hurdle it needs to get beyond in order to be a legitimate sport and really like iron out the professional game.
Yeah.
If you were to say there are, 1 or 2 things that needs to happen in order for pickleball to get to that place that we all want it to get to, what would you say like those 1 or 2 things are?
Well, I've been trying to rebrand the name for 5 years. I mean, it's a horrible name. And, even still, it's finally getting to the place where I don't just go, people go, where are you going? I go, I'm going to play tennis. Because when people don't know what I'm going to play pickleball, they're like, what? And it's not a great name. They need to figure out how to make it, like I said, when you watch Ben Johns and these guys, Riley Newman, play, you don't realize how good they are on film. Mm-hmm. When you play with them, you get it. So they need to find some more interesting camera angles and build these, they got to build these stars. That's like any other sport. They've got some great people that good personalities, and they need to like really dive into that and build it. But I think I'd be shocked if it's not an Olympic sport in the next 5 years. I mean, I really would be. And, and that'll help. But everything is, how does it look on TV? And the more interesting they can make it look on TV, the better it's going to be for
the more viewers, the bigger audience, the more draw. They need to get to the point where people who don't necessarily play pickleball still enjoy watching it.
Yep.
And that's what they have to create. So Doug, you mentioned the name. Did you submit name changes?
I haven't submitted anything. The only work I do is when I get on the court. I've done nothing to make money off of pickleball or even try. I just love the sport. So I don't know what the name should be, but I know they could do better,
Better than
pickleball
after the creator's dog or whatever it was. Yeah, I've brainstormed it too, and I cannot come up with something good like that.
Yeah.
I just don't like. It's got to be catchy. It's got to be a little aggressive, but still fun.
Right.
There's a lot to it. So, yeah,
They'll get there though. It's like I said, it's amazing where it's come in 5 years, and it's been around for what, 60 years or something like that.
yeah,
So
that's what's
Yeah.
crazy.
yeah, and I never, until I walked on that court 5-6 years ago, I'd never heard of it. I'd never seen it. I didn't know what it was. So
Yeah, and that's similar to my experience. I moved to Arizona like 4 years ago. That my HOA had a court, so I was like, "Well, I'm paying for it. I may as well like see if I like it." And I immediately fell in love with it. I came from Utah, never saw a court in Utah. Now
Yeah.
you can't go to Utah anywhere without passing a park that has 20 courts on it,
Dude,
and that's in the span of 4 years. Like every public
awesome.
park has pickleball courts in Utah now.
It's so great.
So,
I only wish I was younger. What are you gonna do?
I mean, is it too late to invent a time machine? I
Yeah,
mean, that wouldn't
I
make
think
us younger.
Bezos
serum.
is working on it. So
Yeah, come
hopefully
on,
he figures it out
Bezos,
before it's too late for me. So
I know. My one of my good friends always says, we're gonna be the last generation to die.
I think he might be right. Although we
Yeah.
might just blow up anyway. So then
Yeah,
all
that's
bets are
true.
off.
We could, but he's like,
Yeah.
we might be able to live to like 120 or 140, but then like on our deathbeds, they'll let us know that the next generation is living forever.
Yeah, but it's really how are you living too? Like I need
It
to
is.
I need to be able to play,
Yeah.
and play well. And as long as I can beat Manas, then I feel good, So that's whatever age that would be.
Yeah. Is it 54?
We're gonna find out today because I'm gonna call him out today. I'm staying off his team because we had our little tiff the other day, and I'm going at him aggressively as a 53-year-old Ken. And I will get a video of it, but I am gonna drill him right here. That's my center chest before this day is over today. That is my plan.
Good.
So this will air tomorrow. So hopefully I'll have that video tomorrow.
Okay, I look forward to seeing it because I also like to see Matt get drilled. That's
all right.
We actually had that. By the way, we had that the other day. We went to someone's house again, like beautiful house. They just put in a court, so we went and played with them, and someone was filming and turned it off right before Matt got. I think it was me that hit him, but that's a shame. So.
Yeah, that is a bummer. My cameras always die out here in the heat in Arizona.
Right.
So like you got like 5 minutes of camera time. You got to make it good. And then after that, you just hear the camera be like, brr, shutting down.
Right.
So, yeah. Thomas, you were going to say something?
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, so we're trying to build our listenership. Is listenership a word?
Yeah.
Listenership at the more like, I guess, level of casual players. So people who probably aren't at that like 5-0 level yet.
Right.
Based on all the name dropping you've done, based on the clips I've seen of you, you're probably at that high above 4-5 to 5-0 level, if not above 5-0. What do you think is kind of like one of those very simplistic tweaks that you can make in your game that will take you from, I don't know, let's say like a 3-5 up toward that 5-0 level that people tend to overlook?
I mean, these guys are going to fucking laugh their asses off at me trying to give tips on how to play pickleball. I mean,
we'll block them. We will.
Yeah, they're going to block
immediately.
You like
if they laugh, we'll block them.
I mean, I don't know. What's the simplest thing that I see? Again, forget you 5-0 guys or whatever. The simplest thing, like I just played with some guys who were like probably 3-5s, 4-0s. And it's just not getting to the net. It's the same obvious thing. And also getting in no man's land, which I can't believe how many people who actually have some racket sport experience just stand there in the middle of the court trapped. And I think that's the big thing. And again, 3-5, 4-0, 4-5 players, even what I've been saying for years and saying it to the guys who have gotten really good at pros. Don't go for the winners. Fucking until, and again, once you get to the level of like with Wes, if I don't hit a winner, then I'm fucked because he's getting everything back. But on 3-5, 4-0, 4-5 players, I think consistency is so much more important than trying to hit the ball hard and I don't know. My last tip is don't try to pass down the line all the time. That's what I told Manas the other day.
I like it.
Stop with the fucking line passes. Fucking put it in the middle. But anyway, I believe, and again, I'm happy to say I'm self-aware enough to go, okay, maybe I'm also one of the delusional fucking guys I play with. I don't think so, because I am very strategic about how I play, and I am very clear that I'm probably the slowest guy on the court. So I need to find angles, and I need to find touch that can slow down their athletic ability. But on the lower levels, I think keep it on the court as much as you can and let other people make mistakes rather than making mistakes. That's my tip. How about that, Matt? Put that on the Riv wall, Matt.
Yeah, we could clip that one. That was solid.
I like it. Patience. Good. Like I find myself doing that too. And pros have told me they're like, just a little more patience. Because even if you're trying to put the shot away at net level, the best you're going to do is get it back to them at net level, which then gives them an opportunity as well. So you want to take an opportunity that does not then in return give them an opportunity.
Right. And really use your partners. Set up plays, like I said, 2-on-2 basketball. Really move people so where your partner can come and finish the point for you. But anyway, I hate giving tips. I'm very well aware of where I'm at in this sport. And, the guys, I'm lucky enough that I get to play with guys who are all better than me, which is what I like to do. I like to be the worst on the court. That's also a great way to get better. Be the worst guy on the court, but make sure your partner doesn't push you out of your spot.
Yeah. Matt.
No, that's
nasty. We're talking to you, motherfucker. Stay off my
dude.
side.
I'm blocking him on Instagram.
He'll block me by the end of today. He's going to block me.
Good. That's the goal.
That's how I know I played well.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
No, you're totally right, though.
By the way, I mean, I can't even say this out loud, but my friend, who I won't say his name, who built that court, who's also 52, 53. So we play doubles and we play again. It happened. I have it on video. So we play Mardy and Sam. Okay. These are two of the, these are both have been top 20 tennis players in the world. And we won that game. Now, obviously, we've been playing a lot more pickleball than them. If they spent 3 weeks trying, I get it. Doesn't matter. It was like winning the U.S. Open for us. Like, we've both had some pretty good achievements in our life, but we fell on the court like we just won the Grand Slam. It was amazing. Yeah.
Okay, now I know why Marty blocked you.
Yeah,
I wasn't fully understanding, but
you would think after that win, though, I could give him a tip without.
Yeah, you should.
Right.
You should just keep giving him tips.
What was the line? What was the line that he delivered you? Because I know Ryan Sherry said it was something like, I'm not going to take tips from an
aging screenwriter. Yeah. About racket sports. I'm not going to take racket sports. It was a good line. Fair assessment. That being said, me and my friend, we won the match. So
well, and also the argument is coaches aren't always the same best players.
That's true also. And also, you guys know you cannot win this game from the baseline. I mean, it's impossible. I don't care if you're Roger Federer. You cannot win this game from the baseline.
Yeah, and you can't win just by hitting it hard. That's that's what I love, is watching bangers winning on the court and being like, okay, I can't wait to get in there and then slow their game down and see what they can do.
I can't wait till the series. Marty's going to double block me. I don't even know what happens after that. He's going to report me.
He's going to report you, dude, and then he's going to have to come up with some reason to report you because you have to submit it on Twitter and stuff. And
but that being said, I do still want Marty back in the pickleball world.
Come back to us, Marty.
Never saw a backhand like this in my life. I mean, we all know he had it in tennis, and Ryan Sherry can do it a little bit. But when you see a two-handed backhand in the kitchen that is paced and it's actually sick. But
I think
standing at the baseline, so we didn't get to see a lot of that.
I think you've been complimentary enough to Marty that, like, at the worst, it's a draw. He's not going to double block you. He may not unblock you because we have, razzed him a little bit. But I think
what will be will be. I got bigger lunatics who hate my guts.
So don't lose sleep over it.
All right, let's ask you some basic stuff. So, like, what kind of paddle do you use?
Engage. I've always I became friends with the Elliots like when the sport started. The first paddle I had was like paper mache with my dog's face on it. I mean,
I love that.
I still have it somewhere. I wish I had it in this room right now. But then I met Robert Elliott and Jody from Engage, and I've just used that ever since. So every time they have a new paddle, I buy that one, and it seems to work.
You've got that black on black one that
I have.
Oh, he's got it
I
right
mean,
here.
I have different colors of this, but
yeah.
Okay, got it.
yeah,
That's a fun paddle.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
no free ads. Put that down. No free ads.
Yeah, no, and I don't get paid for that, but I do. It is the same thing I said earlier. Like, I want all these people to succeed in this sport. I don't want anything out of it. I just want them to grow, make some money, and get the sport out there. I just want to see courts everywhere I turn, like
Yeah.
when people see golf courses as the waste of space. Sometimes I just look at everywhere I go, put a fucking court right there,
Right.
Oh man, every time I go to a parking lot that's like a quarter full, I'm like, there's so many pickleball courts here. We can put like nobody's even parking here anymore. Nobody goes to malls. Let's put courts everywhere.
Yeah.
Did either of you used to skateboard?
Not really. I would love to say I did, but not
if
really.
You lived,
I almost lied.
Just say yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I was sick. I was fucking sick,
dude. I won't anymore because I'm too old. I don't want to fall and hurt myself. But I was really good too.
But I was a good roller hockey player. But no skateboarding. So.
When you live the skate life, you can never see like a parking lot or a staircase the same.
Right.
It's very similar to like pickleball and looking at like open parking lots or old tennis courts or something.
That's how I look at vacations now, though. I'm like, okay, we're going, we're going to go to Istanbul. Do they have courts there? Like, because I don't know if I want to be there for 5 days if they don't have a court,
Right. So. Well, I think part of that growth is going to be awareness. And honestly, like what's so great about having somebody like you on this podcast and people who have a following getting into the sport and being vocal about it is you really help pickleball elevate itself and just get into the mainstream. So that's a pretty crucial component, and we need more of that, frankly.
Yeah. Well, I know I saw Ellin was playing, which obviously was a huge boost, and the guys in the Chicago Cubs are playing in the bullpen.
Yeah.
But honestly, that was my thing for the last 5 years. I'm like, let me just get the word out, and now I think it's fortunately or unfortunately, it's gone past me, and now there are some big people really finding it. So it's great.
Yeah. Well, we got to do more of these celebrity pro-ams. I know there's one coming up. We should do one. Doug, I'm putting you on a spot. Can we? I'm not really a
celebrity, but I'm happy to play. I mean, I don't really consider myself a celebrity, but yes, I'm open to play anywhere, anytime on pickleball. Like I said, I like talking about it. I like being around it, and it just is. It's been a great thing for me as I get into my 50s. And I think for a lot of the tennis players out there, if you can't make it big in tennis, maybe this is the way to go, and to start focusing on it because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Still, the competition is less for the moment, but I think I'm going to be really interested in what this sport looks like 5 years from now. I mean, because we don't know who these like 10-year-old kids playing right now are.
That's what I'm excited to see.
Yeah. So it's going to be cool.
Even the guys right now that are the top of the sport, they started relatively late in their life compared to now these youngsters who have been born on the courts.
Yeah.
And that's when we're going to start really seeing the talent shine. That's what I'm also.
What do you guys think of this serve? What do you guys think of this serve thing that they're doing all of a sudden? This weird spin shit.
That's been a hot topic. That's been a real hot topic.
Yeah.
Is this going to stay in or not?
It's probably not. It's very likely going to be gone pretty soon. The thing that people
then Manasseh is completely done. I mean,
that's his one asset. That's the one thing he's good at.
Tell him you're playing
hard at this thing.
Tell him you're playing 2022 rules, and he's not allowed to use that serve today.
Yeah, I had to correct somebody the other day, and I probably would not have told him the serve was illegal if he wasn't beating us, and I was like really frustrated. I was like, "Hey, by the way, dude, who I've never met, that serve's illegal."
That's how I love when it turns into that, though. I love the trash talk. I wish there was more trash talking in it. Like if they made a little less tennis and people like I love, Jeff Werner. He's fucking 6'5" and can kick the shit out of me. But I love when I play with him we just jaw at each other. And, that makes it fun. And some people get real sensitive about it. I don't know. So.
Yeah, they do. I think you have to be like I like to Nasty Nelson, my friends.
Right.
And if I post a video, even if it's me Nasty Nelsoning my friends, people lose their minds.
Yeah,
they're just like, that was so unsportsmanlike. I also invited a friend to come play, and he was like, and I think you could add this to your repertoire, Doug, is that he's like, this is the most passive aggressive sport I've ever heard. Every time I miss a shot, they're like, oh, nice try. But I think they're patronizing me. So I think if you just add a little extra tone to your voice, you can really get under people's skin.
I agree. And you know what else I hate, which is I've told Wes this for 4 years. And the first time in Florida, I played with the Waters and Anna Lee, who was like 11 and fucking better than me. And, 11. And I always used to say this to Wes Burrs. I'm like, he would hit someone and he hits the ball pretty hard. And he'd be like, sorry. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You don't have to apologize for hitting someone with a plastic wiffle ball in their fucking chest. So when I was in Florida, little Anna Lee, who was like 11, we were playing. It was me and her, and we were playing someone. I think Andre, actually. Andre, who's awesome in Florida. And she hit him. And I'm like, do not say sorry. And she's like, I'm not going to say I'm sorry, And that's when you know you got the heart,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I always say it like this. Sorry.
I will never fucking apologize.
I'm so sorry.
I'll
like
say it now,
net or two.
To Manas. I'm going to give him my early apology for that. I'm spending my day finding a shot that humiliates and embarrasses him today. That is my goal. The 31-year-old Matt pickleball pro McNasty. I am doing something today on the court that is going to make you look really stupid. That is my plan.
And then put it on repeat everywhere.
Yeah. And I slow it down.
Yeah.
I do,
different angles.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I'm really looking forward. I'm going to actually spend the day refreshing my Instagram feed waiting for that.
I appreciate that. So,
yeah.
But anyway, guys, I got to roll because I got to start stretching for this game. So, but I appreciate it, and I love that the pickleball world's getting into podcasting and everything else. And good
hey, we're trying.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. I mean,
nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too, guys.
And I appreciate your PSA at the end there. Everybody stretch before you play pickleball. It may not seem important now to you, but in the future it will be.
Absolutely.
All right, Doug.
Be good, guys. I don't know.
Appreciate it.